Welcome everyone. My name is Philippe Thiffeault. I'm the sales director at VoIP.ms. Today I'm with David Snyder, the vice president of sales of North America at Wazo International, the unified communication platform built for MSP. So today the agenda will be simple. I'm going to do a very short presentation about VoIP.ms for the one who doesn't know about us, about VoIP.ms. We will discover Wazo and everything they have to offer, and we will end up by a short Q&A session. So feel free during the session, during the webinar, you can ask question if you have some, or you can wait at the end. It will be a pleasure for us to answer this. So, David, I'm gonna present VoIP.ms very quickly for the one who doesn't know us, and it's gonna be like very short,
All
three
good.
minute publicity. Who is VoIP.ms? VoIP.ms is a Montreal-based voice company, VoIP voice over IP. We were founded in 2007. We provide a vast range of telephony feature. We also offer phone number or DID number in more than 1,800 rate center across North America, which is pretty much almost everywhere. In more than 70 country, international call, so we can connect your call to almost everywhere in the world, to more than 125 countries. We offer toll-free numbers, call conference, SMS, MMS, and much more. We provide a state-of-the-art customer service and support. We have a wide range of compatibility and certified devices, which Wazo is part of it, combined to all set of enhanced function. So whether you're looking for a hosted PBX or a SIP trunk carrier for to use Wazo, for instance, VoIP.ms is the VoIP provider of choice on the market. So why choosing VoIP.ms? Because it's fully hosted, feature rich, bring your own solution, and pay as you go. We have a vast range of certified partner. So this is just a glance of all the company that we are certifying on our network, from soft phone to PBX to texting solution to door entry panel to SBC, almost everything that is SIP enabled, but also we have VoIP.ms is also an ecosystem of partner, like APIS, for instance. It's a place where you can get courses. So VoIP.ms, it's not only a VoIP provider, but it's an ecosystem of partner that you can rely on to make sure that everything you have on your telecommunication working properly. Just a glance of the hosted PBX feature, and we have a pretty good hosted PBX. It's not advanced as a fully hosted unified communication platform like Wazo, but it's something that you can leverage in combination with something more advanced like Wazo, and it's just a couple of feature that you can mix with another PBX if you would like to. Here, it's the SIP trunk network that we have all over the world. So we have more than 50. This number is a little bit lower than the reality now. We have more than 75 server now located across the globe. So from East Coast to West Coast in North America, in France, in United Kingdom, Amsterdam, up to Sydney in Australia. We have a network of point of presence that you can connect all your endpoint directly to VoIP.ms. So it's going to give you the best quality of service if you're closer. The business model is very simple. The communication we charge is prepaid and pay as you go. So we only charge for what you use, not for the user that you have per seat or per channel. On VoIP.ms side, that's not how we are billing our customer. We only bill for the usage made on the service. The platform is fully self-serve, so you can manage everything from your VoIP.ms portal. We have a model that is fully contractless. We don't believe in big contract that can be cumbersome sometimes with traditional telco. We also offer free porting for your local phone number in Canada and United States. For team, VoIP.ms team is a business of more than 60 employees. We offer technical support through chat, ticket, and email in French, in English, and Spanish. We also have a vast range of knowledge base, video tutorial on YouTube. We also have a blog with a lot of interesting topic. We try to keep it as more informative as possible. And also we have the community.voip.ms, all the client at VoIP.ms that can collaborate through this portal and solve some challenge, maybe some ideas they might have. A couple of useful resources at the wiki.voip.ms. If you're looking to integrate Wazo, we already have created a knowledge base, so you can check on wiki.voip.ms and you will easily find the procedure to make the interconnection between VoIP.ms and Wazo when it's going to be the time to do it. Lastly, your contact at VoIP.ms, myself. Feel free to contact me by email or by phone. It's going to be a pleasure to help you if you have any question. It was short. That's it. So now the floor is yours, David.
All right. Well, thank you, Philippe. Certainly appreciate the partnership with VoIP.ms, right? And certainly appreciate you taking the time, giving us this chance to speak to your audience. Certainly wishing everybody out there either a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be in the world. It's interesting that technology has spanned out so much that these conversations take place on a global level now instead of regional. So kind of a neat thing. I'll go ahead and share my screen and kind of walk you through Wazo and our offering here. I just had to a little bit, right? Wazo is a UCaaS platform, and it is built to serve MSPs. In fact, our only customers are MSPs, and our business is strictly with our MSP partners. And Wazo is not a company that your end users are going to find or is out there marketing to your end users. They're not going to see us providing them different pricing. They're certainly not going to see us reaching out and looking to host them directly. Our relationship with our MSP partners is directly with the partner and the partner only, right? So that's a very protected piece of our business. The Wazo mission is similar to a lot, but different than most, right? Our mission is to give you the power to take full control over your communication infrastructure with a customizable turnkey UCaaS solution. Right, what this is saying is right out of the box, right? The platform has all the standard features that you would expect in a UCaaS solution, but it is through its flexible and open APIs customizable, right? Which is really taking it to a different level as far as technology. A lot of the UCaaS solutions out there are in hardened bundles and hardened feature sets, right? Which we would see as a Gen 3, Gen 4 kind of UCaaS solution, whereas the advent of a fully customizable UCaaS platform is more of a Gen 5 or Gen 6 technology coming forward, right? Something I think that you'll see more of as we go into the future, but Wazo has very wisely positioned themselves in this space to begin with. We'll go through some things here and then take some questions, right? For the background on Wazo and where Wazo came from, right? Wazo has actually been out there in the open source market for quite a while, right? You can still find us there. We do still offer an open source offering, right, for customers to go and use and look at and work with, right? And the continuous development of the platform, right? But then the marketable part of the product platform is actually Wazo. The product came and had its beginnings out of Quebec, Canada, and Paris, France, right? The company is run and owned and operated by developers, right? And they're the ones that have founded the company and developed the technology. As of May of last year, right, myself and several others here in North America joined Wazo, and Wazo entered the North American US market. My responsibilities are for all English-speaking regions in the world. And for those that don't, right, we have other teams, especially our team in France that can help people that are needing French-speaking assistance or other languages around the world. All right. Couple key points about Wazo, right? We are a company that's scaling very fast, right? In fact, we're scaling at a point that we have a hard time keeping this slide updated. I can tell you that we're already past the numbers that are listed there. We're certainly a global company. Right, the product began, as I mentioned, in the French market. It's been over in the French market for multiple years, where it's matured, gotten to a level of accountability that it was able to come over and make its debut in the US, right? So as a global company, right? And The platform itself is a flexible UC platform, is a unique ecosystem, right? It's cloud native API first. That gives you a lot of ability to manage your own platform and to create and innovate, right? It gives you the ability to leverage your infrastructures, integrate with different technologies and different things. At this point in the slideshow, I like to say, this year the acronym is AI, right? That's the big buzzword for the year. What's the acronym going to be next year? I've heard VR AI, right? Which is fascinating, right? But what does that mean to you as a business owner? Does that mean that all of a sudden your platform has reached its end of its life and now you're once again in pursuit of a new one? Or with a platform like Wazo that's more like a Lego system, right, that you can build onto, where the ceiling has been removed, right? So as new technologies enter the market, right, through API development and integration, right, you can take advantage of them without a major platform shift. All right, moving on to the next slide. This is a favorite slide of mine. This really talks about the UCaaS space today, right? There's really two key players in this space right now, and they're the pure cloud players. You're probably familiar with a lot of them, 8x8, Zoom, RingCentral. There's quite a few of them. And then, of course, our legacy partners, which is my background with Avaya and Cisco, where you have, the Avayas and the Ciscos out there. And this, of course, is post-pandemic, right? I think most realize that the pandemic reset everything. It certainly caught the legacy players a little bit behind the 8 ball, right? And it propelled the cloud players to the front of the line. Zoom, others, right? Couldn't have been in a better place at a better time in an unfortunate situation, obviously. What this slide speaks to is, right, because of that, and as a byproduct of that, right, the pure cloud players have emerged with modern APIs, the best interoperability, which of course drives a rich ecosystem, right? Some of the drawbacks to that would be, right, if you go introduce your end user customers to them, sell a feature, sell a platform, right? At the end of the day, they give them their 800 number, their contact information, they pay you whatever commission that they owe you, and then your customer now belongs essentially to them, right? And your relationship ends. The legacy players, on the other hand of the coin, right, due to a lot of the same reasons, right? The technology's old, right? It fell behind very quickly after the pandemic. The interoperability is poor because a lot of them are designed that way. They're designed not to work with other technologies. They're designed to be proprietary. And of course,
lockdown ecosystem.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And you add those two things together, right? And you're going to get a pretty poor ecosystem. But, right, what they offer is you can own your customer, right? You can go with them, sell them a solution. You can still sell them managed services, other things, right? But, it's kind of half a dozen here, half a dozen there. Where Wazo sits in this picture is right in the middle, right? We have the modern API. We have the best interoperability, a very rich ecosystem, but we allow our MSP partners to keep their customers. We don't interfere with their business. Their business strategies and plans are completely up to them. We're just there to facilitate and provide them the tools that they need to be successful in the things that they're looking to achieve, right? So that's really where the UCaaS space sits today, as you see the new emerging technologies come forward. Kind of take a brief tour through the Wazo platform. With my background in Cisco and Avaya, I can share that I've seen complexity that would make you want to call home and cry, right? Just things that never work are so complex that, they're gone before you even have figured out how to use them, right? One of the things I like most about Wazo is I find myself saying the word simple over and over and over, right? Which is a real relief, and it is, right? The platform is very straightforward. Our platform begins with a portal that we host. Our portal drives all our tools, our web apps, our desktop apps, our mobile apps, all the central management lives there. All the business pieces of the switch are driven from the portal out to our partners, our MSP partners. And much like a lot of the UCaaS players in this space, our MSP partners have their own technology stack, right? That's something that's on their infrastructure. It's their responsibility. They care for it. They have direct care of that and accountability, right? The stack is what connects to our portal. One of the things that really stands out in this field for Wazo is its multi-tenancy. It is a multi-tenant switch. It can take several thousand tenants on one stack, 5, 6, 7,000 end users, on a stack, depending on the load and the different types of users. And there's some math to be done there, but right around in that area, right? But the key to it is that it is true multi-tenancy. And I think the best way to explain that would be you could have customer A with extension 123 and a variety of different Wazo license types. And you could have customer Z with extension 123 and a variety of different license types, and they can coexist on the same server without an issue. You don't have to renumber your dial plan. You don't have to go and do all the things that traditionally, right, would come with, a solution like this. So that's another simple thing that I really like about Wazo, and it's a key competitive advantage that we have in the market today. As far as
Which
the end
is
user,
which being multi-tenant for and using VoIP.ms as the trunk provider is a good thing because VoIP.ms is offering a hosted PBX platform, but with some limitation. And within the same VoIP.ms account, unfortunately, at the moment, it's not possible to have multiple same extension. You have to play around to make it work. You have to have different dial plan and prepend some stuff. So this is the perfect reason why the mix and match between Wazo and VoIP.ms is a very good thing. You're bringing a solution. Multi-tenancy it seems like a basic one, but it's a very important one for most of MSP out there.
yeah, it's very important. It also there's other reasons for it too that bring value to it. There's a lot of centralization of management, right? If you're currently, I won't call any vendors by name, but I know that one major vendor in the space is going through a major upgrade right now. They're not a multi-tenant solution, right? And just if you can just think in your head, maybe you have 500 at a low number or 1,500 customers, right? And if you're not in a multi-tenant situation and you're going through an upgrade like that, you are going out and touching literally 500 to 1,500 individual dedicated servers and going through an upgrade. I don't know about the audience out there, but I'd rather spend time with my children and doing things that I like than, in a room in a chair, pressing keys for hours on end. So that, along with other reasons that will come forward as we go through the presentation, you'll see the value of the multi-tenancy. As far as our end user customers, it's a very varied field. It's a very flexible product, right? We have customers that are slated to hit end user subscribers in the tens of thousands this year. We have a litany of SMB, right? And an SMB is a great market for this platform, right? But it's also something that you could be a private citizen, right? You might have an insurance business, and you just need UCaaS functionality to, communicate with the rest of the world on the right technical level, and that can be done as well. So pretty much end-to-end offering. We'll kind of go through at a very high level the architecture, right? I would invite anybody that has more detailed questions around it to reach out and share those, and I can certainly get those answered for you. But just want to give you on this time today kind of that view of what it looks like from that altitude, right? Of course, at the interface level, right? Familiar names: WebSocket, webhooks, WebRTC. This is where the switch is grabbing information, pulling it in. Information's being pulled out and shared to different adjuncts and applications, right? Then you go into your service level, which is really the business part of the switch, right? Your trunking is going on, your deployment, your scaling. Of course, it's important to note here that each one of these layers is open source, open API, right? So that definitely adds a lot of ability to create and innovate. Then you get into the communication level, and this is where, right, as you can see, at the core of our communication level is Asterisk. For those familiar with Asterisk, right, you'll know that Asterisk is an extremely powerful communication engine, right? It has pretty much unlimited capabilities as far as what can be created and what can be done with it. But a lot of people see it kind of like a science project, right? It has all this ability, but it might take you the rest of your life to figure out how to do it. That's where the real value of Wazo comes forward, right? That's where our programming and our heritage being owned and developed by developers and programmers comes forward. They've taken that time, they've done the innovative programming to simplify, streamline, and draw out the powerful features that exist in that engine. The last layer, the infrastructure layer, the key piece there is the Debian, right? It's a Debian 11, right? It's been through that last upgrade. It clearly with that is a state-of-the-art technology stack, right, in the industry standard today. So again, right, at some point in the future, if you have more detailed questions on that, certainly invite and welcome those. This is another slide that we like to use. Not only does it show a lot of the vendors that we work with on a daily basis and have great relationships like Yealink and Grandstream and Fanville, but it also is stating something here, right? And that's really if a component, whether it be a gateway or a terminal or a headset, is SIP-based and is built to interoperate, right, with other technology, it's going to work with Wazo, right? If it's not something that's already pre-template and already pre-provisioning, it's something that can be added, right? If it's a device, it's maybe a Ring Central or an Avaya ACO phone that's built to be proprietary, it's not going to work because, of course, it's not designed to, right? So that's really what that slide's saying. Oh, I mean, I missed a slide there. We'll go through and kind of cover the model, right? We talked about the portal. We talked about the stack connecting to the portal. So really want to talk now about the actual model and how we go to market with Wazo. It is a simple model. There's simple again, right? But it is different from a lot of our competition. Some are concurrent call. Wazo is end user subscriber, right? Each end user must have a subscription. They can put as many different types of devices on that subscription, whether it be a hard phone, desk phone, mobile app, right? They're free to use all those, but each individual participant must have a subscription of one of three levels, right? We talked about the portal, the management taking place there, but the three subscription types that Wazo offers, right, are very simple. There's voice, which is exactly what you would expect with traditional telephony, right? It's an audio conference bridge, voicemail, intercom, call waiting, everything you would expect in the standard traditional telephony environment. And then moving on up to the next level, which is our unified communication, that's where our tools come from, the desktop apps, the mobile apps. We have a really well done Teams plugin that comes forward in the UC offering. You know, you have the CTI and some other features, as well as the video components of the platform that reside there and begin their journey there, right? And the last one is what we refer to as customer relationship. Really, this is not really a contact center. It's more of an advanced switchboard. And what you would expect from that, right? The login, log out, real-time call monitoring, all the basics are there. And there's a reason for that, right? Again, the product's been built to be customized, right, by our MSP partners. And Wazo stopped just short of adding a contact center because they felt that was a strategic decision that should be left to the MSP partners, right? They can go out, they can figure out what kind of CRM they like, they can figure out what kind of contact center they want to use, and then use API development and API integration to connect it, right? And not to oversimplify that, right? You certainly need to have the right resources and things like that. And that's stuff that we can help you with and guide you on. Moving on, and certainly I'm from the Northeast, right, in the US, so I talk fast. If you have a question, don't hesitate to reach out or speak up. This slide really speaks to end users, right, that either are not comfortable with the thought of being in the cloud, or maybe they're in an environment where they can't. Maybe they're a school or a hospital, or they're under some kind of regulation that dictates that they have to have some equipment on site, right? They have to have their own equipment. That is something that could be done with Wazo, right? You could actually have a prospect like that, you could put a server on site. You could partition pieces of your dashboard out to them, right? You can make them a little self-sufficient if you like, or you completely lock it down and you completely keep control of everything involved with it, right? It's up to you, right? They certainly can't see any of the other participants on the switch, right? But it's kind of a nice feature to get around that kind of objection of we don't want to be in the cloud, or we really need to have a piece of equipment on site. Going into our competitive advantages, there's really a lot here, right? And with my background with the legacy players, there's a lot that immediately spoke to me when I joined the company and I learned about Wazo. It is a flexible OpEx model, right? You're not going to find us trying to get our partners to sign 5-year, 8-year, 3-year contracts, right? We firmly believe that if we're doing things correctly, right, our partners should want to stay because they're pleased, not because we have a piece of paper with their name on it, right? And what that means is you basically have 30 days, right? 30 days notification. If you don't like the product, you're not happy with the platform, you can certainly move on. There's no penalty. There's no consequence for that, right? We want it to be a fully comfortable decision for our partners to make. It is also a simple subscription model, and anyone that's worked with some of the other platforms I mentioned can know that this can be a real nightmare, right? If you're a seasonal business or if you have a need to have your users go up and down. Maybe you're a company that does a lot around Christmas or another holiday, right? And you need to add agents, right, to support your business throughout different times of the year. You can easily do that through your system, through your dashboard, right? You can go change quantity type, the
Scale
type of
up,
license. Yeah,
scale up, scale
yeah,
down on demand,
yeah.
basically.
Yep. Change the type of licensing they have, right? And you do all that independent. You don't have to call us. You don't have to sit through another webinar. You don't have to sign anything. You just do your business and the billing follows you, right? If you were to add 100 users of various types for 1 month and then dial it back the next month, you would see that, you're billed for what's in your switch at the end of the month, right? So that to me, with my background is a feature that I just find unbelievably convenient, right?
And
Because normally in that situation, by the time you figure it out and you've signed all the contracts and you've done the license file transfers and all is said and done, right, it's months after the need, right?
and is
So a
there
very
any minimum monthly commitment? We have a question here from Roger asking, maybe not go, but he's asking to go over pricing structure, but maybe to go in detail. I would suggest to reach out to Wazo, to David, after the webinar to have a better sense of the pricing specifically. But one of the underlying question that he's mentioning here is about the monthly minimum commitment. Here is, if I'm understanding, because you can scale up or scale down, it's appeared that there's no minimum commitment to use the platform.
That's correct. And as we go through the presentation, we'll get into the structure of that and certainly address that. And like you said, any more detailed questions, right? Pricing is something that we like to talk directly with our MSP partners with. Every MSP I've ever met has a different business model. They have a different way of making money, right? And it's a conversation with software you can have, right? And find the right pricing scheme for both sides of the agreement, right? So we'll cover that here in the next upcoming slides. Where you get to that, right? That's a good segue as we go into control the price, right? One of the other things that you encounter in this space is vendors that pretty much dictate what you're going to be charging to your customers, right? They sell it to you, you sell it to them. The margins, decided by them. The discounts are decided by them. The spiffs are decided by them. Pretty much everything is decided by them. With Wazo, right, we negotiate a price with you, our MSP partner, and you can do whatever you want with it after that. We have partners that give the solution away to, let's say, sell carrier seats. We have some that add other offerings, right? Whether they have a security offering or video offering or anything like that, and you're free to do so, right? If you wish. And back to the value of multi-tenancy, and we spoke about the centralized management and the use of time, and of course, time is money, right? Time you spent doing things is time that's spent not making money for your company, right? So the central management interface is a huge piece of that in optimizing your operations and reducing your total cost of ownership. The last one is the last slide we viewed, right, where we talk about the smooth hybrid approach to the cloud for those that maybe have not had an experience with it, have some feelings about it, or possibly are under a regulation that requires them to proceed in a very specified way. And again, right, the whole underlying thing is the ability to keep control of your strategy and your customers. That's really the message that hopefully is resonating as we go through here is, this is something that you can take and make your own. Oh, kind of went past that. And speaking of that, right, we do have full white labeling capability. Everything that Wazo puts out can be white labeled. From the portal, the desktop apps, the mobile apps, right, can all carry your logo. The only component that we have that we offer that we're not able to do that with is our Teams plugin, right? Because anyone that knows Microsoft knows that they do not allow anyone to rename their products. So that would be the one and only thing that can't be white labeled out to your end user subscribers, right? And that, of course, gives you a litany of ways to personalize your offering, get to know your customers better, verticalize, right? Specify in verticals and provide features and solutions that are unique or problem solvers. I think everybody's met a vertical that always has that one niche problem, right? That nobody can solve and, nobody wants to talk about. But this really kind of opens the door for if you haven't, a vertical like that, maybe it's senior citizen living or things like that, where you have some older technology and things like that that you have to solve for. It's something that's worth looking at. So move on, right? And here we go, Roger. This is kind of getting into what you wanted to talk about. I did remove like real straight references to the pricing, right? We encourage that conversation between us. The pricing really breaks into three pieces, right? Of course, you needed some kind of technology stack. That could be a AWS, it could be Google, it could be a hard stack, right? It could be a rent a space in a data center, right? As long as it matches to the specs needed for the platform to exist and perform, right? So that's one cost, right? And then the other cost is your membership. And we talked about the portal. There is a membership to the portal. It's monthly, right? You can purchase it in year increments for a discount, but again, it's a monthly kind of relationship. Again, the portal drives all our tools, all our support, the management of the platform all comes from the portal, and you pay a monthly portal membership, which we'll cover in the following slide. The last piece of the three is your end user subscription, right? And this is really a soft cost. These are the things that we sell you and you go out and make money with, right? So you're investing in it and purchasing it through us at a price that we'll negotiate. And then you're going out and you're selling it for whatever you like, adding to it whatever you like, doing with it whatever you like, right? So those are the three components to our pricing. To speak more and directly to the question that came up, right? It is a monthly membership. It's based on end users, right? For 0 to 2,500, right? So there is no limit, right? You can be at 0. You would fall under our bronze partnership. As soon as you cross the line over 2,500, you become silver and on up the chain, right? It's all based on the end user subscribers that drive it, right? It is a one-way scale, meaning you could be a platinum partner with 1 or even 0 subscribers. Don't recommend it. But you could not be a bronze partner with 10,000 subscribers, right? So that's kind of how that works. Right now, as we're entering the North American market, we're offering some pilot incentives to get partners to come on and to collaborate with. So we're offering a lot of things. So at this time, really, there's no real reason to pick a partnership that doesn't match your user count or your potential user count. There are a couple things, like if you were wanting to be a VAR or maybe a reseller or a distributor of Wazo, you would have to be a gold or a platinum partner, right? And if you can see along the bottom, you can see a discount tracking up off the top, right? That's kind of a built-in double-digit margin for partners that want to proceed in that way, but you would need to be gold or platinum to do so. So I'm sure there's
The
questions on that. And again, I would encourage them.
For the VAR, it's because the reseller module is included in the gold and platinum. That's
Right.
why. Okay.
That's correct. Thank you for that. Yes. And we do a lot, right, for our partners that come on, our MSP partners. We do certification training, right? We have marketing, co-marketing opportunities. We have marketing in the box materials, sales in the box materials, right? For that first year, we really come alongside you. We'll help you with your tier 1, tier 2 support until you get through your certification training and you feel competent with that. We don't see a lot of tier 1, tier 2 support tickets. It's really a technology that once it's in place and you have it tuned in, it tends not to have any kind of troubles like that. And that's kind of the nature of technology nowadays, right? That complexity has been compressed and encased in such a way that, you just don't have the trucks racing around and trying to get and replace servers and do all these things. And if you do, right, if you do have that situation, it's probably a good time to call us because you're suffering needlessly. The last piece of the pricing, right, is the subscriptions, right? And they're broken into the 3 categories I mentioned, the voice, the UC, and the CR, right? They're per user again, right? If you want to buy the licenses in advance for a 1-year period, we will apply a discount for that of 10%. But that's really the components of the pricing. That's again, I mentioned throughout the presentation that I love the word simple. I think I counted in my head. I said it probably 7 or 8 times. It's one of my favorite parts about the platform. If you get to this point and we've gone through this presentation and you're interested and you want to learn more, we have several ways to do that, right? We can certainly jump on a call. I can go through the presentation again. We can do some technical Q&A. We have a couple of tools that we use to show the platform and share it with potential partners, right? One of that is, of course, we can do a web demo. I think everybody's familiar with web demos, right? The sun's always out, everything always works, right? And it's a perfect world. The other level, right, is one that we call a proof of concept, where we'll actually cut a instance off of one of our servers a little deeper, right? You can add users, add trunks, see how it works. Philippe would know, right? His staff
We
there.
went through this, so it was not a big challenge, honestly. Of course, speaking from a perspective of a guy who's doing this all day, but
Right.
yeah, no, it was not that much complicated. I've seen very much worse. So uh, if you want to test it, I much recommend that you have a look to it. It's a nice platform.
Yep, and I would encourage you to look at the VoIP.ms website. They put together a fantastic wiki leak for Wazo for those looking to go through that process, right? I think we took notes. They did such a thorough job. I think it's actually improved the way that we address those questions, right? So I'd encourage you to look into that as well. The other and the last way that we'll do this is for partners that are really serious about it. They really want to get into it. They really want to see the platform. We'll do what we call a paid trial, where you get a server, we give you the specs, you stand it up. We help you get your first stack set up. We help you connect your trunks, make some calls, set up some users, right? But you actually have a situation where the platform's live on your server. And we're working with you through that trial. At the end of the trial, right, of course, if you don't like it, you're free to leave. But if you do, your production network's already in place and you're ready to go to
Re
market.
Ready to roll. Yep.
Yeah, so that's kind of neat. When I look back on, technology, right, it's amazing that we're talking months when things like that were years, right, to accomplish, right? So technology is fascinating in the way that it's accelerating.
It took us like a couple of hours, in fact, and was almost like like on the side job, almost like 2 days, a couple of hours here and there. So I'm sure anybody with just enough skills and understanding communication will go through this very easily. So yeah, it's a well-built platform, and the fact that you're accepting like with MS, bring your own device after. I think that makes it a very flexible platform. It's not all I want to call it a PBX, but it's more than just a PBX. Not all PBX are doing it this way now. Most of the time, you have to work with their recommended brand, and it's sometimes can be challenging because when you're MSP, your customer already have a solution in place, already have devices, already have they will not replace because you decide to replace your communication system. They will not buy 10,000 new phones tomorrow
Right.
morning because you decided to pick up another solution. So I think for the migration from what any MSP already have through Wazo, I think just for this, it makes it so much easier. It's yeah, just this point for me, I think it's the best.
Great. Yeah, and you know what I would say, and that's a great point, right? It is a bring your own carrier, right? You do have those choices. One of the things that we've really appreciated and enjoyed with the relationship and integration with VoIP.ms is at their core and in their hearts, right? Their interest is in the success of their partners, right? And providing them solutions that are going to solve their problems, right? So love partners like that, right? That are willing to kind of introduce people that might offer other opportunities, but are inherently looking to better their subscribers' environments and lives. So that's commendable. Um,
Definitely. We already cover one question. Just want to make sure if there's
okay.
any other question here before we end that up. Um,
Well, I hope so. I either did a really good job or a really bad job, right? If there's no questions, but I would
yeah,
certainly,
I think it's uh, the audience here. It's probably really well versed in what we are doing.
right.
So it's not like if we're doing something. Oh, you're sharing your screen.
Yep, you should be able to. I just want to put my contact information on there. I don't usually include that in the slideshow, so hopefully you can see that okay.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
so that'll be
Roger.
there.
There you go. If you need David contact information.
Yep, so
Yeah,
great.
thank you for the comment saying that you did a good job.
Oh,
So,
thank you. But that's kind of an easy thing to do when you really believe in the technology and what you're doing, which is something that's very true here. I think it's something that I've been able to really get behind and is something that you really speak truth about. So it's a great thing. So um, I can either summarize or Philippe, if you want to finish it up, we can do so.
if there's no other question, I think we can wrap this up. So if there's anything, you have David contact detail here. You will also have his contact detail from me by email after the webinar, not a moment after, but very soon after. If there's anything, you can also reach out to me directly. And oh, just want to make sure. Esteban, yeah, sure. Is saying the pricing is maybe the biggest question we have here. Of course, I think so. At the same time, each situation, like David was mentioning, is different. It's a little bit di more difficult to put a price like VoIP.ms. For us, it's straight to the point. The ID cost X and that's it. So I think the business model with Wazo, it's a bit more flexible. They try to match your operational model instead of just throwing pricing out of the box like this. So I kind of understand that it's difficult just to advertise pricing um, to
Right.
like it. There's no one size fits all kind of situation here. So um, I think it's pretty understandable. So I really encourage you to reach out to David, and I'm sure he will be able to craft you a tailored proposal just for you.
Absolutely. Love to.
Perfect. I think that was the last one.
Okay.
So, David, thanks for your time. It's been the last 6 months of collaboration with you, pretty great. I'm glad that we finally end up by doing this session today, and I'm sure we will have many other opportunity to collaborate again in the future. So we keep in touch, and I will let you the last word.
Sure. No, just want to thank you, our partners at VoIP.ms, for allowing us this opportunity to introduce ourselves. Thank everybody that took the time to sit through it and to listen. I hope it was informative and inspiring, right? And you'll reach out and I can kind of share more of the things that you're probably interested in. That's really the purpose of this call, right? Was just kind of an introduction. Look forward to speaking to anybody that might want to pursue it.
Great. Thanks, David. Thanks, everyone, for joining today, and have a nice day.